Good evening and welcome to the January 4th organizational meeting of the Glenville Town Board. Please rise with an invocation and pledge allegiance. Please join me in prayer. This prayer is a New Year's prayer authored. It's part of a prayer authored by Billy Graham. Our Father and our God, as we stand at the beginning of a new year, we confess our need of your presence and your guidance as we face the future. We each have our hopes and expectations for the year that is ahead of us, but you alone know what it holds for each of us. And only you can give us the strength and the wisdom we will need to meet its challenges. So help us to humbly put our hands into your hand and to trust you and to seek your will for our lives during this coming year. We ask this in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Here. Here.
Here. Supervisor Crystal.
Here, we have the agendas up front if you don't have one already. It looks like a busy meeting, and somewhat is, but we're going to take much of the, many of the resolutions up on consent, which we'll get to when we get to that part of the meeting. But before we start with that, we do have the State of the Town presentation, which I will begin now. Well, again, good evening and Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you all for coming tonight. This will be the 8th annual State of the Town, which we've instituted when we first began with this administration. And it's always been a great opportunity, really, for us to share the town board's priorities for the year and for you to share in your thoughts and work our shared work together. As I've indicated in past addresses, this town has been through tremendous change in the last 8 to 10 years, and I believe that change has been positive. Over the years, we focused on economic growth to expand our tax base, and we've invested in our commercial corridors, in our neighborhoods, and in our parks. We've stabilized our finances, and we've built a solid foundation that has led to manageable tax levy adjustments, and we've instituted technology and efficiency measures to lower the overall costs of government while protecting and even enhancing services. A list of some accomplishments in 2016, somewhat long, but I think significant. First and foremost, over the past 7 years, we've cut our debt by $9 million, or 40%. We protected our fund balance by reducing the allocations from what was a $1.4 million allocation in 2010 to just $465,000 in 2017. That's a reduction of $865,000, or 65%, since 2010. We've decreased our operational costs since 2008, and I see we have a lot of our staff members here tonight, a lot of our employees of the town, and I'm proud to say, and I said this in our budget hearing, our budget presentation, we have the leanest, most efficient staff in the area by a long shot. The cost per capita of the services we deliver by our employees is just $86. That's per capita. Compare that to Niskayuna, where it's $245 per capita. Our payroll is $2.2 million for general employees, and in Niskayuna, it's $5.4 million. For our police, it's even better. $74 per capita at a payroll of $1.7 million, compared to a town like Rotterdam, where it's $120 per capita, or a payroll of $3.5 million. We are clearly lean, and we are clearly efficient. And the taxpayers ought to be happy that we're delivering services at the lowest cost possible. In finance, we've created our capital improvement reserve account and a debt reduction reserve account to help us allow for better long-term planning. And this part's important. We have always, one of the few that can say this in this area, have always stayed under the tax cap with an average levy adjustment of just $39 over 5 years, slightly over $7 a year. That's 8% levy adjustment over 5 years, equals to be 1.6% each year. Again, very efficient. In economic development, we attract nearly $165 million in new investments into the town in the past 7 years. That means our tax base has grown by $46 million, and represents a 2.5% growth. That means there's $1.4 million of new money going to mostly your school district, your county, and 10% of that to the town. Among the new projects we welcomed this year was the town's first hotel, and we're proud of that investment in our community. We've continued the process of rewriting the comprehensive plan, and we began the difficult work of drafting the specifics. More on that in 2017, and we'll talk about that soon. I'm proud that one of our biggest accomplishments is we secured $1.7 million investment in Sunnyside to make sure that new water was put in at no cost to our residents, protect them from contamination, and give them safe and clean water. We made significant progress in cleaning up Freeman's Bridge Road with the demolition, finally, of the blighted Kenco building, and we protected residents and business property owners from further potential contamination. After 40 years of trying to secure funding to clean up the GSA property in the Business and Technology Park, we have finally got a commitment from the federal government that they'll be cleaning that up. In fact, the work has already started. I'm proud of the completion, near completion, of our town center investment of $1.5 million. Most of that from state, private, and Metroplex, although the town did make an investment in that as well. That $1.5 million has led to nearly $8 million in private party improvements in property in town center, and an assessed value increase of $28 million in our town center alone. We've paved 17 miles of our neighborhoods. Over the past 3 years, that's $1 million investment in paving and drainage work, and more to come. Perhaps most popular was we opened a new dog park at Anderson Dog Park and issued, the clerk will tell you, over 700 permits for use of the dog park. We expanded Millwood Park, we rehabbed and invested in the girls' softball fields in Indian Meadows. We finally gave the girls the same fields that the boys have had for years, and I'm proud of that. And we finally paved the roads in Indian Meadow Park. We secured grants to begin the expansion of the senior center. We secured grants to begin the study of redeveloping Freeman's Bridge Road. We secured grants to pay for the protection of our water plant. And we secured grants to begin the planning of redeveloping our business and technology park. We held community focus groups through our EIG, Efficiency in Government Committee, to better facilitate conversations between residents and the town. And we began to implement technology to achieve greater efficiencies. For example, it doesn't sound like a big thing, but we finally purchased a new phone system, which is coming, to replace a system that was purchased back in the early 90s and failing. We also invested money in new software packages that will better help connect our departments and help us operate more efficiently and effectively. All told, we made a $242,000 investment in our technology upgrades this year. We are implementing a new structure in the police department that will finally reopen the window to the public during normal business hours that was closed when we lost the services of dispatch. And I want to thank Chief Janik for making that commitment and making that happen. Thank you very much, Chief. And we held another successful community event, Oktoberfest, which welcomed over 10,000 people to our town this past September. In short, we streamlined operations to lower the cost of government. We made important investments in our community to enhance services. We expanded the tax base to lower your share of the levy. We slashed our debt to provide relief in the operational budget. We protected our fund balance to prepare for capital needs, and all this has led to a strong, vibrant, and sustainable community. It's put us in a position to begin looking into 2017 in the future for a balanced approach and to long-term growth. Now, it's a little bit of what we accomplished. A little bit about what we're looking to accomplish in 2017. We look to continue to invest in our infrastructure. That means this will be the year, although we've talked about it before, that we begin to implement our automatic read meters to boost efficiency and to help lower the cost for our water users. We will use that grant money and some town funds to invest in our water plant to protect our most precious resource against potential contamination. When we had the storms of Irene and Lee, we saw a potential for contamination from the river. And we will harden the protection of the water plant to ensure we maintain that safe and clean water supply. And we will finally begin and complete the construction of a walkway to Woodhaven. As we've talked about the investment we made in town center with the sidewalks, we will now begin to link our neighborhoods to the town center, and then in the future, link to the dog park, which will get you into Indian Meadows Park. We will link our neighborhoods, our town center, and our parks, but it will start with the next phase with the walkway to Woodhaven. We'll continue our investments in our parks and our seniors by finally starting and completing the $550,000 expansion to Millwood Park. To complete the senior center expansion that we received that grant for that I talked about. We will also invest in the trail between Anderson Park and Indian Meadows to improve the walkability between those parks. We are working with the YMCA to secure funding for a fitness park. And there are some more improvements to the dog park coming. For example, more shade structures, benches, and pavilions. We've actually had people contact the town about having a dog birthday party, having dog birthday parties. So we're going to try to provide pavilions for the dogs that have birthday parties. So that's fast becoming a community favorite. We'll continue to build our commercial corridors and protect our neighborhoods by actively and more active code enforcement approach to follow up on site plan approvals, to use our READY grant and LDC funds for microloans for beautification on Freeman's Bridge Road and Maple Avenue. We will begin the study of redesigning the Freeman's Bridge Road Gateway this year, which is important to welcome all the visitors coming for the casino, and I'll touch on that in a few moments. We'll also begin the business park redevelopment study so that we can attract even more businesses to the business park. That has been a tremendous job generator for this town, and tax levy, tax base growth generator for the town as well. We will complete the rewrite of the comprehensive plan and begin the difficult work of zoning changes and code rewriting. We will ask GECC to give us a recommendation on how to site solar panels and solar farms in our town. And one of the more exciting things, because we can't forget about our Route 5 business corridor either, we'll make a more aggressive approach to market Route 5 as an agro-tourism destination point. We all know Will Hollow Brewery is there, Michael Brewery. We know that we have a sugar house coming where Glenville will have its own maple syrup being produced shortly. We have plans for a micro distillery at the old Rector Firehouse, and there's still a creamery for a small cheese producer who wants to come on Route 5. Route 5 is quickly becoming an agro-tourism corridor, and we're going to continue to work on that this year. Working with the president of the GPBA, who's here tonight, I will ask him to help us host small business roundtables. It's time to focus a little more effort on our small businesses here in the community. And just like EIG did with our residents, we would like to have more roundtables with our small businesses. And really, I think 2017 is a year, even though we've talked about this over and over again, to get serious about sharing services. I'm proposing, and I have proposed, a joint residential committee called the Town and Village Visioning Committee to better identify, pursue, and implement ideas where the town and village can better share resources to enhance services and reduce costs. It is time that the town and the village face the future together. We need to work together as one community. The other initiatives this year include getting Glenville moving. When I mentioned this to the group earlier, we had a morning meeting here, they thought it meant we were going to move to Saratoga County. That's not what we mean. We want to get our folks moving, so we're investing more in trails and bike trails down at the river. Open up access to the river. That will be on the agenda for 2017 as well. And one of the more exciting things I'm interested in, and we have the new chair of this new committee, Cheryl Hoffman, is with us tonight. We are going to create tonight the Glenville History, Cultural, and Events Committee. This committee is a brand new committee that will be charged to coordinate, plan, and implement town-wide initiatives to protect, promote, and celebrate Glenville's historic, cultural, and natural resources. This will be done through special events, education, and interpretation. The committee will also be tasked with assisting the town board with understanding the town's assets and formulating a strategic plan that will help us better connect residents to them. The committee will include but not be limited to things such as planning and implementing special events that highlight the town's history and culture, assisting the town historian with interpretation and preservation, and celebrating our culture. This committee will also begin the important work of preparing for the town's bicentennial celebration, which is only a few short years away. Perhaps, looking at our challenges for 2017, the biggest may not actually be in our town, but I believe is the casino. As you all know, the impact money for the casino goes to the host municipality. I think the state of New York, and I've said this many times before, made a fundamental mistake by not thinking about the fact that they may actually locate this casino on the border of another municipality, and instead not do impact money to the host municipality, but should have done an impact radius. And unfortunately, because of their short-sightedness or lack of understanding this, the city of Schenectady will get $2.5 million and already has each year going forward. The county will get $2.5 million and already has each year going forward. $5 million will go to the city of Schenectady and the county of Schenectady, yet nothing will go to the town of Glenville. And we know we will be impacted. We know that our police, our public safety efforts will be impacted. We know our traffic will be impacted. If anyone takes a moment to GPS this thing, from any points north, you are coming through the town of Glenville to get to the casino. You're either coming down 50 out of Saratoga, or if you GPS it outside of Saratoga and you're coming down 87, you're getting off 9, coming down 146. Now you can go one of two ways. You can go Maxon, but most GPS, the primary route, they send you down Maple to Lower Freeman's. And we're going to be impacted. And if you're coming from the west and you don't want to go down the thruway, or if you're coming from Amsterdam or points northwest of Amsterdam, you're coming down Route 5. We are going to be impacted, and there has been no effort to look at how we're going to mitigate traffic impacts in this town. They put a lot of money into Erie Boulevard as if someone's just going to drop in onto Erie Boulevard out of nowhere. But they have not looked outside of Erie Boulevard. If the state fails to act, which they have so far, we've asked them many times, then the county ought to be held accountable to use the money that they're giving to offset the impact to the town taxpayers by using the money for services such as dispatch services or other public safety services that the money was meant to be used for. And so far we haven't seen that out of the county. On that, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the sales tax fair share. We've talked about this many times. The town of Glenville does not get a fair share, nor does any town in the county of Schenectady on sales tax sharing formula. And I'll give you this example. We've done this before. For every $1 million that's collected in sales tax in Schenectady County, the county only shares $8,000 of that $1 million with the town of Glenville. The county takes $745,000, or almost 75% of it. The city gets $130,000, or 13% of it. Metroplex gets $87,000, or 8.7% of it. And the town gets 0.8% of sales tax. So, just to put it in context, the city and the county get $5 million in impact money. The city and the county get 98% of sales tax growth. And the town of Glenville gets shafted. That's not right. We need to fix this. And we need people to go to their county legislators and talk to them about this issue. This is an important issue to our budget and to your tax bill. This needs to get fixed. And just to give an example how unusual this is, a lot of counties actually share fairly their sales tax. We have a partner, a neighbor, Saratoga County, shares with their town 50-50 with their towns. That means a town like Clifton Park, with only 3,000 more people than the town of Glenville, gets $12 million in sales tax a year. The town of Glenville gets $2.7 million a year, which means the burden, that difference, is on you, the property taxpayer. And that's not right. This needs to get fixed. We're going to address this year. We're going to get more aggressive with it because so far the county has failed to respond, but this is something we need help from our residents on. With that, I can truly say the town is very, very strong. Our fund balance is fairly healthy after many years of trying to protect it. Levy rates are flat. We've made significant investments in our community that are worthy of our town. But we must not forget, as we go forward, how we got here. Through prudent fiscal decisions, paying-as-we-go philosophy, and finding creative ways to cut costs while protecting services. I'm happy to report that we will continue on this path, the path we started on 8 years ago. And because of that, I'm confident that we will meet the challenges as we continue to expand our tax base. We will improve our community, and together, we'll make Glenville an even better place to call home. I want to thank you all very much for coming here tonight. And God bless you, and Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Now we're back. Oh, go ahead. Now we'll get back to the meeting. All right, so we have resolutions. We have these groups that we will take them on consent, which means we'll go through them very quickly. The first group is the administrative group, 1 through 14. I have a motion. Do I have a motion to move them on consent?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Seated on, please take the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittlebaum?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Tussley?
Yes, resolution passes. So now that we are taking them on consent, I need a motion to move resolutions 1 through 14. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? These again are just the administrative resolutions, and they're on consent. So if there's no other discussion, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittlebaum?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Tussley?
Yes, resolution passes. Town attorney asked me just to use some examples so everybody knows what an administrative resolution is. Resolutions like designating our official depositories, resolution designating official newspaper of the town of Glenville, setting mileage reimbursements, those types of things. Setting and updating our investment policy was in that group. The next group we'll take on consent is the committees and commissions, and that will be resolutions 15 through 28. Do we have a motion on consent?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moving second on consent. Any discussion? Seeing none, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittlebaum?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Tussley?
Yes, resolution passes. These, again, are basically committees and commissions. We're appointing members to the ZBA, the planning board, traffic safety, ethics, we're creating our new history, culture, and events committee here, with our new chair here is being named. And those are basically resolutions. So, do I have a motion to move that on? I do already have consent. So for motion for 15 through 28,
So moved.
do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Seeing none, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution to move on consent 29 through 39 is contracts and agreements. Do I have a motion to move on consent?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second, any discussion? If not, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. So now I need a motion taking up resolutions 29 to 39.
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just for discussion, these are things like our grants to Freedom Park, our grants to Teen Town, our grants to the Community of Human Services, our grants to the Burn Hills Rec Program, things like those. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, next few we have to take individually. Resolution 40 regarding the tax to be levied upon real properties in town of Glenville. Do I have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Just pulling the resolution out now. This is essentially like setting the levy by the county legislature and the town's contribution to taxes to the county of Schenectady. I got it. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution 41, authorizing the supervisor to execute a 3-year contract for legal and comprehensive labor relations services with Romer One was Gold and Developed. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? As I mentioned, this is a 3-year contract with our current firm and town attorney. And I want to say that we've worked very well together for the past 8 years, and we're excited for that relationship continuing. We thank you for all the good work you've done for us.
I'd like to reiterate that.
Any other comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution 42 is next. Resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the stop duty agreement. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
I'll second it.
Moved in second, any discussion? As I said, this is a authorizing me to sign the stop DWI agreement, and the budget is to not exceed $1,000 in personal services.
11,000.
I'm sorry, 11,000. I have my glasses on too. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 43, authorizing the town board of the town of Glenville to include its executive officers under the workers' comp policy maintained by the town. Do I have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? As said, this just puts the executive officers under the workers' comp policy. Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 44, adopting the 2017 strategic plan. Do I have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. It says attached, but we don't have it attached, so we'll get it attached, and we'll also get it out on the website fairly quickly. But it's essentially what was just read a few moments ago. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Lumat?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Supervisor Capson?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is 45, authorizing the Glenville Rotary to use the Glenville Senior Center. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? This is just allowing them to use the senior center from January 1st through December 31st. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, 46, authorizing the Glenville YMCA to use the skating rinks at Indian Meadows Park from January 7th through March 31st of this year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? As I just said, it allows them to use the park in that time, the ice rink, subject to availability, and waives any fees, associations, and such forth. Provided the Glenville YMCA completes the park use application and provides the required liability insurance. No further comments? Please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Resolution 47, adopting and approving the cafeteria plan under IRC section 125.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Again, this just establishes our cafeteria plan through J. Graham Flynn under IRC section 125. No other comments? Please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution authorizing the highway superintendent to employ a maximum of 23 full-time employees for the year of 2017 within budgeted appropriations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Exactly as I said, 23 within budgeted appropriations. Any other comments? Please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. One thing I failed to do was announce the following appointments. We do have our deputy supervisor, Jamie McFarland, back again for another year. Thank you very much, Jamie, for all of your hard work and for all you've done to help keep the lights going and all the other projects. We'll be busy with Mel and others, so congratulations. And,
You know how to keep people busy.
that's right. We also appoint the Commissioner of Public Works, Tom Corwell, again. And the other appointments are done in the resolution. So if you don't hear your name tonight, then it's because you're in the resolution. You're in there? Yes.
You still have a job.
Yeah, you're, and congratulations, you've done a phenomenal job as well, so thank you. And department chairs, as you all know, are the same as last year. So, with that, there is no further business. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move it.
Second?
I'll second.
Move in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you very much, guys.